All right, let's move on to our favorite games of 2021. That's why everybody's really here. Not for Atari, for Activision,
Everybody
or whatever.
clap.
Asteroids Recharge. Everybody clap. Get ready. This year was a tough one, I felt like. I don't know about you guys, but I just didn't really feel like trying a lot of new stuff this year. Just felt
my games of the year is going to be so boring.
Well, we know it's Fortnite, but...
Well, I mean,
less.
there's 4 other ones.
Right, but we know Fortnite is your pride and joy. Is your top. If there was a top pick. No, I'm not... it's reasonable today. Like, I mean, I'll go first. Like I'll say Apex Legends is one of my favorite games of the year. I'd say out of all the free-to-play battle royale games, or even all the free-to-play multiplayer games like this, they've come maybe closest to Fortnite in terms of getting the battle pass right and updating the comp. They're not as good as Fortnite at it, and not even like close, but they're in like the right direction at least, and they seem to be they add new characters. They're always refreshing the game. They've done the best. It's like the opposite of what Halo Infinite is at right now. So yeah, Apex is still a great experience, better than ever.
Is that your number 5?
I mean, these are not in any particular order.
Number
I would
5.
say.
Number 5.
We could say if you like.
5.
It could be number 5 if you want it to be number 5. Sure.
What's your number 5?
Let's say.
Mine is Cruisin' Blast for the Nintendo Switch. That is, I've talked about that before.
That is based on the Al Pacino movie where he plays an undercover cop at gay bars in the 1970s.
That's not a real thing.
That is 100% a real thing.
What's it called?
Cruisin'.
Is it?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Oh.
Wow.
I skipped the cutscenes, so it could have been.
Right. I don't think they could afford him for this game.
It's a really fun arcade racer. Like it beat out Hot Wheels Unleashed for my number 5, just because I thought it did the arcade racing better. It was a close call because Hot Wheels does a lot of stuff right too, but Hot Wheels also seems like they really want me to pay more money for stuff now.
Well, yeah. Well, there's not that much to the game unless you're getting new cars. I feel like that's like a key component.
Well, that's what Cruisin' Blast is, but you're unlocking them all, right? In Cruisin' Blast, like it's pretty much just, hey, play all these tracks as these things, collect the tokens that are on the track.
Right.
And yeah, it's a good port of an arcade game. I like it. What's your number 5, Wombat?
I went with The Artful Escape.
I played that.
Yeah, it's a fun little indie game, and it's weird and it's colorful, and it kept me in. It was a good late night game for me because I had there were many nights this year where I had to stay up and work until midnight, and that peak season of me working till midnight came right around the time that The Artful Escape came out, and I would be done at like 10, and then I wouldn't have to get back on until midnight. So I'd have these 2-hour chunks, and I'm like, I need to stay awake. I know, I'll play The Artful Escape.
That's a dangerous game with that one.
I know.
Because I literally fell asleep twice while playing that game.
So I really liked it. I thought it was weird and inventive and the right thing at the right time, if that makes sense.
No.
Yeah, thanks. But I liked it.
No, it was a well done game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That game's on my list.
4?
That game's on my list also, by the way.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you played that game.
I played it this week. I played it today, actually. And it really, like, I mean.
Really cramming for this.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's hard to, like, have, not have a spoiler about my list, but I played this game at E3, like, fucking 5 years ago. I don't know how.
Time ago.
It was a really long time ago, and I played a lot of it. I must have played a half an hour of it. I don't know. I felt like I sat there for a while and played the game, and it was really it was cool. I liked it. And when it came out, I was looking forward for it to come out. But when you played if you played like the demo of a game and the game finally comes out, you're like, oh well, I'm gonna have to I already played this already. Like maybe I'll just keep putting it off. Well, I decided to not put it off any longer, and I was like, it really came a long way, and I think it really benefited from being able to be on a Series X. Just like the extra resolution of the game, like it's very colorful. Like it's all about even like the when it takes place in like reality in Colorado, like it looks really good. Like in the woods and everything. Like it's a good looking game. The art is really great. But the story is really
it better be with a name that
the name. Yeah. I mean, the story I thought is really great though. Like I got really sucked into the story about, it's about, I mean, I don't even want to ruin the story or even tell you about the story, but it's about a musician basically. And, being, I think Jason Isbell would like this. You notice how I said his name properly? He probably doesn't like any games, but
he doesn't play many video games.
He might. Does anyone in his family like play instruments? Like is like a famous musician?
His wife is a famous
musician. I meant his not his wife. I know his wife is.
You mean like his uncle a famous musician?
Yeah, or his parents, or anyone like that he grew up with. Because that's basically the story. The story of this game is that like the kid's a musician and his parent, one of his uncle is like a super famous like type, and he's like pigeonholed into this type of thing, and he's trying to grow. Anyway, I really like Artful Escape. It's on Game Pass. You gotta check it. I smiled a lot like playing. I liked it.
I just wanted more game.
There's not a lot of game.
There's not a lot of game. There's not a lot of pressing of buttons.
No, nope. It's only I think 4 hours. It's really like an interactive story. Yeah.
With bright colors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd really recommend checking this out while it's on Game Pass.
Yep.
Go on. What else?
Number 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ship. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Ooh,
yes.
A game I did not play on a console I do not own.
Yes. A lot of people in the same boat.
Yep.
Right. I'm near the end of it. I have not completed it yet because it takes.
Take it off your list. It doesn't count.
It counts.
Where's your ethics in game journalism?
Only favorite games, Unleashed. Not the best games. Favorite. What'd you say?
I said, fine. Hot Wheels Unleashed is my number 4. No, Ratchet and Clank, it's a great looking game on PlayStation 5, right? It's like the showcase of that console so far.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same, mechanically, it's the same Ratchet and Clank that we've all played, right? But it's really well done. Dashel and I like playing it together. So,
right.
I don't know. It's a game on the PlayStation 5 that we played.
Nice.
Good work.
And it's
good work, PlayStation 5. I picked for my number 4 the Guardians of the Galaxy game that I also, oddly enough, similar in a way to Artful Escape. If Artful Escape was bigger and longer, it's like a bigger, longer Artful Escape.
There's a lot of story and
there's a lot of story. There's a lot of walking. Once the action though kicks in Guardians of the Galaxy,
action later.
There's a lot of action later. It's like if the Artful Escape was like, and now you're going to shoot people.
Artful Escape, by the way, we didn't mention the gameplay is primarily Simon button matching. Done well, though. Done as well as any rhythm game has done it before. And my favorite.
Don't say that.
I'll tell you what I liked about it. No, okay. I'm talking about like the Parappa and like the Parappa the rapper.
It does it fine. I wouldn't say that it does it.
What's great, I'll tell you what's great about it is that when you fail one of the patterns and it replays it for you right away, like there's no like downtime or punishment for failing, really. You just have to start over from that section. But you don't even have to wait for the guy to finish his Simon pattern. No, you can jump right in, which I really appreciate. I thought that was like a really nice sort of upgrade. And like the timing of it, like you can make it sound like music. Like you have like, in the way that like when you play a game like Rez, you can sort of, your button presses can like go to the beat and everything, and you can contribute to the soundtrack. You can do this more so in this game.
Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy is also a great looking game. It has a very interesting, I actually really like the story in it, and I don't usually like stories in games.
You didn't skip anything in this game, right?
Not much. No, barely anything.
This is legitimately one of the best video game stories I've ever played.
It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah.
Is this not on your list, Chip?
It is. It's number 2 on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, like it started out. I hated this game starting out because it was nothing but just walking. Right? Like the first
it's building.
4 levels are just like walking. And it's
Mhm.
like it teaches you a little bit of combat, and the rest of it's like walking. And the combat in this game, it's not fantastic. It gets the job done, right? Like I want to be doing it rather than walking. I'll say that much. But
There's some unique elements when you're controlling your teammates and doing
yeah,
your
it's
special
fine.
moves.
It's nothing. It's not. It's like
You're not wrong. I'm just
Right,
saying it's
right,
not as
it's-
bland as you're making it out to
no,
be.
but it's not like oh, I wish other games took this mechanic or something. It's like okay, yeah, I'm shooting a person at the same time I'm telling that person to go over there.
And it's
and
also what
stab 'em.
works really well for this game is it's not held to the movies. It's not saying, well, this is what the movies did, so this is what we have.
It's
to do.
close. It's close though.
It's close, but it also, it takes it's they use a different origin story for Peter Quill. It's not the same.
Slightly.
It's not the
It's-
same.
it's-
thing.
He had a
It's-
Discman instead of a Walkman.
No, he still has the Walkman.
He still has the Walkman. I mean, it's like aesthetically,
His
it's
mom got hit by
similar
a
to
car.
the movies, but the story isn't held to, well, this is what happened in the movies, so this is what has to happen.
Sure. They were free to
And
do what they wanted.
They
for the
were
most
free to
part.
do what they want. It has a lot of cool Easter eggs in it too. So, if you're a fan of Marvel and deep cut Marvel stuff, or if you want to learn some deep cut Marvel stuff,
Right.
This is a good game for that too.
I hate things like where people say like you got to get through the first 4 hours and then it gets really good. But that's what this game is.
But
And it's only 10 hours, right?
No, it's like 15 to 20 hours.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
long game.
Okay.
It's a long game.
yeah, the word of warning I would say for anyone who plays this game is when you think you finish this game, you have not. So
All right. Post game credit. Post game.
there is a post. It does.
Wow.
It sort of like plays
Cool.
on that whole
Marvel
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Great.
It's I would say it's Mass Effect level of like storytelling.
Right.
Like where the dialogue is just like so good, like way better than it needs to be for a
Right.
video game.
Oh.
I don't know. It's like I was playing this and like towards the end I'm like, why did they spend so much money on this? Like they didn't need to do this.
Wow, that's cool. I'm gonna get it when it's
Yeah.
at some
It's
point.
cheap. I think it's cheap now.
Is
But
it?
yeah, it's a good game. That's a good game.
Would Mrs. Chibi like to watch it?
She might.
think
Does she
so.
like the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, she would like it then.
Okay.
Then she would like this. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think she might get interested in it's not even like the plot. It's really like this character plot on Peter Quill and this other character and his connection to this other character and what it really is.
Mhm.
And that's sort of the mystery of the game that really carries it through without me
Right.
saying too much. And that's more interesting than this larger game plot of whatever, world ending thing is happening.
There's definitely levels to the plot that are going on.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's that secondary thing.
Mm.
It's like that didn't never needed to be there in this game.
Mass Effect did the same thing.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
similar,
I'm not
I
saying
guess.
it's the
Comparing it,
first
like,
game
it's
to
like-
ever do
Yeah.
it.
It's cool.
I'm
Good.
just saying it does this really well, and it's like, well, I want to know this
Right.
as much as I want to save the universe.
Yeah.
I also want to know what happens here.
Right. Well, if I had played this game, maybe we would have all had it on our list, but
I'm sure we would.
I was lazy.
That's okay.
I didn't feel like playing it.
Number 3.
I haven't
What
done
do you
my
got?
4 yet. I haven't done my
what's
4
your
yet.
4? I thought your 4 was something.
No.
What is
No,
it?
I didn't say what number that was.
Oh, okay.
I
So
just
what's
said-
your number 4?
My number 4 is Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, that's my number 3. So this works out.
And that's Chip's number 1.
It's my number 1.
Spoiler. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
knows that.
Yeah.
The only reason it's lower on my list is that I played the shit out of all these other ones, and I also own a car. So the excitement to me is less than it would have been if I had never played all those other games and didn't own a car. It's fun. It's a great game, though. I know Ship is going to get 600 hours on this one. I think. This could be it.
I'm over 100 hours into it.
Okay.
I checked and saw like
2 years. Just stick another 2 years into it.
yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna stick with it for that.
Right. He's gonna.
There'll be another one out. There'll be another one out in that time frame.
There is
That's the
DLC
difference
though.
with Fortnite. Yeah, there is DLC, and I'll play that. Like, I think I played a lot of Forza Horizon 4. I never played like the weekly. I don't even know if it had it. Did it have all this like weekly stuff?
No. I think that's what's the Forza
Like the festival,
Forza-thon?
like the Forzathon festival stuff.
That's all new.
Okay, so that's what I'm hooked
It
on
had
currently.
seasons, but it didn't have.
I don't
I'm
know.
not
I never
sure.
did it before.
Yeah.
Not
So
100%.
I just played like the single player before, and then I was done.
Yeah.
This time, for whatever reason, I'm playing those seasonal challenges and the daily challenges, and like they're just so bite sized that I can get through them relatively quickly. And it's like everything seems achievable in the game. Like, oh, there's 500 cars or 555 cars. Oh, I have 400 of them.
That's a lot.
I can keep going
that's
and
a
get those
lot.
150 cars or whatever.
I just found the last barn find last night, and I thought I was a freaking god.
Shit was
So
putting in work.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Did you
know.
buy the treasure map?
I did buy the treasure map early on. Yeah.
Is that worth it? What do you get with the treasure map? I still don't know.
It just shows you where everything is at, like all of the signs and everything.
Worth it, isn't it? Just the currency in the game.
Well, see, I have no. The
you have to
treasure
pay
map
real
is like-
money.
it's like $2.
They got you.
Yeah, I don't mind paying $2 for a game that I'm gonna put 100 hours in at least. And I got to the point where all the fast travel was free for me, right?
I did that.
I got all
Oh.
I got all the signs. No, you don't.
I don't.
Did you get all the fast travel signs?
You know, I know, but I bought the house and I thought I was going to be free. I got
you had
tricked.
it.
I thought
You
I
thought
had it.
you had
yeah.
it.
I know
No,
we
that's-
all got tricked by that. I got tricked by it too.
Right.
was
So if you put
bullshit.
the $2 in, then you get the treasure maps, or you can just look it up if you really want to look it up on like YouTube or whatever.
Not really.
To find right. So you get the treasure map, and then you get all those signs, and then it's free fast travel everywhere, and then it cuts down on the time you have to spend to do these specific challenges. But
Yep.
fantastic game.
Yes.
I
I
like
just
it
like-
enough.
I don't know. It's hard for me to get excited about these like, and biannual releases.
Well, I really like it. I've been playing it too.
Yep. Is it on your list? Did
Cards
it
are
make your top 5?
It was my number 3. I said
Okay,
you did
sorry.
your number 4, and it
Got
goes
it.
right into my number 3.
Perfect.
Yeah, it works out really well. I really liked it. The cars are shiny. I drive them around in circles.
So this is going to be the only game that's on all of our lists, maybe.
Well, we already
Maybe.
discussed.
That's it.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
'cause-
Yeah, probably because
Probably. Let's
Probably.
see. Let's see, though. You never know.
rightfully
What's-
so. It's
What's your
fantastic.
number 3, Mr. Shipwreck?
My number 3 is not on either of your list. It's Metroid Dread.
You're right.
You're right.
Yep.
It is not on my list. I did not play that game.
Nope, I knew you didn't, because you guys don't play Switch.
No, it's against my religion.
My daughter stole mine, and I haven't seen it in a year.
My son dropped mine on the floor yesterday. I don't know if it still works. We haven't.
Oh, that sucks.
It's a wood floor
My-
though, so hopefully.
Yeah, I
hopefully
bought a
it's
new
okay.
one because my son kept doing that. So now I have to buy a new back to his because it's just like hanging on, just flopping around on the back. Metroid Dread though, really good 2D Metroid game that I don't know. I liked the mechanics a lot. The story was good enough. And I don't know. The map was good. It kept me entertained. I played it religiously until I finished it.
Mhm.
So I didn't feel like going back to 100% it because I don't know what the point of that is if I already beat the end boss. I
Right.
could beat him more.
Yeah. No, you do it quicker.
Beat 'em more.
Right.
Make 'em
You
You
hurt.
can brag about your Metroidness.
So Metroid Dread, can't wait for
Okay.
Metroid Prime 4
Nice.
to be any day now.
Nice.
Tomorrow.
Good.
What's your number 3 there, Chippy?
My number 3 is Halo Infinite.
Mm.
I finished the campaign. I didn't love it. It was fun. It wasn't like something that I'm going to think about really ever again or probably go back to. I really like the multiplayer. It's nothing earth shattering in that we've been there before. We've done this before. It just looks better and they didn't fuck it up basically. Like they basically just had to not fuck it up. And I think it's going to get a lot better. And, if they continue that with that philosophy of not fucking it up. If the campaign was better, this could have been higher up on my list. But I wouldn't get too hung up on the order of these games, to be honest. Story could have been a lot better also. So is that all of our number 3s? Are we on number
yes,
2
we're
now?
number 3 down. Yep, we're up to number 2.
All right.
Am I going first?
Sure.
All right, I picked Marvel's The Avengers. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, they would have loved you. You probably could have. They probably would have hooked you up with Captain
Oh,
America.
my
Could have come
goodness.
to your house with like some
The
gift
war
cards.
for Wakanda. No, that might be the worst boss fight ever in the history of games. But anyway, that's a whole.
You
other
played
thing.
it though.
I did. I finished the war for Wakanda.
Oh, I did not
science.
finish the war. The war.
Oh my god, it does have the worst boss fight ever. It's painful and
it's different than all the rest of
tedious.
them.
It is, and it's tedious. Anyway, that's besides the point. But another thing that I did finish, which is technically 3 games
Okay.
and many, many hours, but I did get through it this year, was the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
I had a feeling
Yeah.
that might.
You
show
know
up on
why?
this
Because
list.
it's flipping amazing. That's
you love
why.
it.
I do. I love it. I love it a lot. It's Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 in a convenient package where I can play all the games with everything, but it looks shiny and new. Yeah, it's pretty outstanding. I don't see what there is to not like. And also, it worked out that it's been long enough since I played any of these games where I remembered about half of what was there.
Right.
So
Did you
I really-
change?
you
Did you
know.
change up? Did you remember like your old decisions and try to?
I remembered some of my decisions. I didn't change up too much because I'm not a dick. So to pick the renegade options even in a game is just something I'm not gonna do.
Right.
And I did play through the whole thing with my son, who has never seen anything Mass Effect. So he basically sat there with me, and we made decisions together
Right.
on all these characters. So it was as much his decisions as it was mine, and that actually I would say also was really one of the other reasons why this game is number 2. So
Nice.
yep, yeah, because I could make fun of him because I think he had a crush on Tali, and I can say things like, well, no Tali. Then he gets bright red in the face.
Right.
Mhm.
Jealous.
Yeah,
My number 2, I guess,
sure.
is 12 minutes. This game is not.
Really?
I thought this game was really
Really?
interesting. I did not like certain
So you
aspects of this
did you
game where
finish
like
it?
we played a lot of it and we gave up before like getting to the ending, but I appreciated sort of what they were trying to do. They kind of fucked up along the way, but like the story is like too dark and it's like there's no reason like your wife's murder. You need to be watching your wife get murdered over and over again. It's not like a good experience for anybody. And there's some like quality of life improvements that could have been made in terms of like saving you from watching shit over and over again. But I thought the game was really original, and I definitely like had a emotional response while playing. It definitely had a lot of tension in it, and Mrs. Chippy sat there with me as well through all of it. And it took up a couple of nights entertainment, and we eventually gave up because it's got too hard, and it was like, there's no way we're going to get to the end of this unless we look up how to do it, which I think is like, a flaw in one of the many flaws in the game. But it was unique and it took chances, and it missed a lot of times, but it was interesting.
And for a lot of us, it's really your only chance to get to at least hear a really good Willem Dafoe performance, because you're not going to get any Willem Dafoe this year any other way.
As far as I know.
As far as you know.
So 12 minutes. I know like it was controversial because the story, it could have been better in a lot of ways, but maybe 13 minutes will be better.
What do you got there, Mr. Shipwreck? You're number 2.
It was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians. That's right. You already said it. We already
Yes,
talked
well,
about the
this
game.
happens though. This is what happens.
I know. So, I mean, I guess now I forgot. Did we already spoil Chippy's number 1?
Did you say your number 2 yet? What was your number 2?
My number 2 was whatchamacallit? The Mass Effect.
Okay.
We talked about
So
that.
my
yeah.
number 1 is Artful Escape. Like,
Oh,
I
really?
really had like a strong emotional response to that game. I don't know. I haven't finished it. I'm almost. It's only 4.5 hours, I think.
It's short. Yeah.
I've played a lot of it, and I just thought it was like really like different.
No, I
And-
loved it. Don't
yeah.
get me wrong. It's on
Yeah.
my list for a reation. I thought it was fantastic.
I like
So-
explained the whole thing to Mrs. Chippy, like, and I know she wasn't listening, but I did like. I was like, oh, and then this happens, and then like, yeah, it's really crazy, and it's like it sounds like Queen, and it sounds like I don't know. It sounds
There's
like
a
the
little
music
Pink
is
Floyd in there.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like it's got a really good sound to it, and like the art is so great, and yeah, it's
I even like the song, the Uncle's song. I like a lot too.
there's a lot of great
I
music
totally
in it.
dig it.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
really cool, and obviously like the guy who made this game obviously went through something similar. I mean, not the psychedelic parts, well, maybe a different psychedelic experience, but he must have had some pressures put on him by his family, and it's really like a personal game. It really feels like
I think his uncle made Mario.
He's a musician, I think, the guy who made the game. I forgot the story of the guy, but he has like a weird name. He has a name that I think is made up, which is anyway, The Artful Escape. If you have Game Pass, you really should check it out. But be prepared. The first hour of the game, you're having, it's going to be story time. But the voice acting is really good. By the way, they have really good voice talent. Jason Schwartzman, I think, is in it, and Carl Weathers. I actually smiled when I saw Carl Weathers' name show up on the. It has a great title sequence. Like I really got into it. When the title pops up and it makes you feel good. That happened to me. Anyway, that's my number one, Artful Escape.
It's a good game.
It's cool.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And my number one is, as we all know, I did pick Fortnite.
Fortnite.
I play way too much of it. I think they did a good job this year. They finished out chapter 2. They started chapter 3. There were some really good live events. As Chippy already mentioned, they do season passes, battle passes, whatever you want to call them. They do battle passes better than any competitor on the market. And
they do everything better than any competitor on the market, in my opinion, except like the game itself. In my opinion,
I really like the game. I think that's a subjective thing.
Definitely,
more than 100%.
100%. I wish that other games had the resources and capabilities to implement events on the scale that Fortnite does, because it's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
They had that Ariana Grande concerts, and they had live events and a huge live event, and now they have Spider-Man, and it's they do a lot of things really well. They even have web slinging in it now, and sliding. They did add in sliding, so, and that's the other thing. It's like they do steal, like if someone does something better than them, they're like, well, then I guess we'll just add it in, so we have it now too. But again, I understand that gameplay is subjective, but I really like it. I also, want to shout out to show listeners that I've played Fortnite with throughout the year. I've made some real friends playing that game.
I mean, you putting in the hours, you're gonna get close.
You're gonna get close, and I play with the same group of guys pretty much every night.
That's awesome.
And we it's actually a really good escape, and it's really nice to talk to people sometimes.
Of course,
especially in these crazy times. And while we're doing it, we're also talking about Fortnite and playing our game and leveling up. They've turned it in almost as much an MMO as it is a
that's
free to
the
play
metaverse.
shooter.
That's the metaverse.
Yeah.
Is
and
Fortnite.
that's sort of where it excels in ways that other games don't. There's NPCs, there's talking, there's challenges, and there's things to do other than just win. But I've also won enough where I feel like I'm not terrible. I like winning, don't get me wrong, but I like that there's other things too.
It's a fine choice.
Yeah. And it keeps me sane. I'm not even, there's something to be said about that.
Yeah. Halo Infinite, that's where I would play. I mean, I'd rather Halo 3, Halo 2 and 3. Like I'd play a lot online, and you'd have the same group of people you'd play with, and there were CAGs. And I've done the similar. I've played Halo Infinite with the same people, but not at the rate that you are playing. Like
not at the
maybe once a week, but we can
get back. Once they get Spider-Man in there.
Yeah. Then everyone's going to come back.
You know what? I am shocked that they haven't done armor that is reminiscent of like Spider-Man patterned armor
on Halo.
Give them a minute.
Officially licensed.
Yeah, like officially licensed.
You have to be officially licensed, or else it wouldn't.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like a license, like
I don't understand
the actual Halo armor with like a red and blue
Right. I get
coating
it.
on it. Yeah.
Is there not a? Maybe I haven't unlocked it yet.
Yeah.
But is there not a Master Chief costume for Forza?
There's the Warthog, but I don't know about.
I know,
the
but like
suit?
the driver, it just seems like too obvious. Like,
I know.
I'll
I
add
have
it
Master
later.
Chief in Fortnite.
You need something for later. Maybe there's a whole Halo add-on for it later.
Like
I did
If
pass
Forza
on
had like
Gears.
Spider-Man and his Spidey buggy.
Spidey Buggy.
I remember.
Oh
the
my
Spidey
god,
buggy.
the Spider Buggy would be bananas.
Right. Like that seems.
They could
pretty,
do a Marvel.
They could do a Marvel DLC pack.
They could do a Marvel DLC pack. Captain. Well, they don't have motorcycles. I think Forza needs motorcycles, but that's a different conversation.
All right, that's our list. Well, Shipwreck's number 1 is Horizon, Forza Horizon
Yeah,
5. In case you forgot.
Yes.
Any honorable? I have 2 honorable mentions
Okay,
that I would like to say.
say them.
One is Far Cry 6.
That's a
I-
good honorable mention. That would be on my list as well.
I played a lot of it, but I was not compelled to get to the end, but I feel like I was really close because I put in like 30 hours probably.
Yeah.
But
Another one.
and the other one is Sable, which is another Game Pass game.
I didn't
think.
like that at all, but I'm glad
Really?
you didn't.
It was very buggy in the beginning, like it was very choppy. Like they fixed that. It's a vibe, that game. It's not like there wasn't enough there for me to get it on my actual list, but it's a vibe, and either you're looking for that like mellow vibe, not much going on, can't get punched, can't take damage or anything, there's no like enemy in that game. You're just driving your bike around in the desert, but it has a cool look to it. So that's it. That's our favorite games of 2021.